All right, today we are diving into what might just be the most incredible logistics operation in the entire universe. And the craziest part? It's happening inside your body right now. Yep, we're talking about the circulatory system, your body's own personal, non-stop delivery service.
So how does your body make trillions of deliveries to 37 trillion customers every single day? I mean, just think about that for a second. Imagine a delivery company with 37 trillion customers. That's how many cells are in your body, give or take. And every single one of them needs food, needs oxygen, and needs its trash taken out constantly. How in the world does that happen without a single missed delivery? Well, the answer is this incredible biological highway system.
Okay, so let's get down to basics. What's the mission of this whole delivery service? What's its main job?
Well, at its core, it's a transport system. It's got two main jobs, really. Job number one, deliver all the good stuff, we're talking food, oxygen, to every single cell. Job number two, haul away the bad stuff, the waste products like carbon dioxide, before they can cause any trouble. It really is the ultimate supply chain.
And just look at this. Wow, this really shows you the sheer scale of the whole thing. This is not just a few main roads, right? It's this dense, sprawling network that gets to every single tiny corner of your body. Every part of you is plugged into this system. So to really get how it all works, let's break it down into its three key parts. You've got the engine, you've got the roads, and then you've got the cargo.
All right, first up, the engine room. Because every great delivery service needs a powerful, super reliable engine to keep everything moving. And for us, that's the heart.
Now, the heart isn't just some simple pump. It's a really sophisticated four-chambered organ, and it's made almost entirely of muscle. You can kind of think of it like a two-story house. The top two rooms, the atria, are like the receiving docks for all the incoming blood. Then the bottom two rooms, the ventricles, they're the powerful shipping departments that send the blood rocketing out on its journey.
So how does a heartbeat actually work? Well, it's like this beautifully coordinated four-step dance. First, blood flows into those top chambers, the atria. Then the atria give a little squeeze, pushing the blood down into the ventricles below. Step 3 is the main event. The super powerful ventricles contract, forcing blood out of the heart. And this is so important, step 4. These tiny gates called valves, they slam shut to make sure no blood flows backward. This whole sequence, happening 60 to 100 times a minute, that's what you feel as your pulse.
And this is where the design gets truly genius. We don't just have one circuit, we have a double circulatory system. Here's how it works. The right side of the heart pumps that used blood, the stuff without oxygen, on a quick trip to the lungs to pick up a fresh supply. Then, that newly oxygenated blood comes back to the left side of the heart, and the left side gives it a massive push, sending it on a second, much longer journey to the rest of the body. Separating these two jobs makes the whole system incredibly efficient.
Okay, so we have the engine. Now let's talk about the roads. After all, a powerful engine is pretty useless without a good road network. And in our body, these roads are the blood vessels. So we've basically got three main types of roads, and each one is perfectly built for its job. First, you have the arteries. Think of these as the major highways, carrying blood away from the heart. Now, because they're getting that blood straight from the heart's big pump, it's under really high pressure. In fact, that force is what a doctor measures as your blood pressure. That's why arteries need to have thick, strong, elastic walls. Then you've got the capillaries. These are the tiny little side streets where the actual deliveries and pickups happen. Their walls are only one cell thick, so it's super easy for stuff to pass through. And finally, you have the veins. These are the roads that bring blood back to the heart. The pressure is way lower here, so their walls are thinner, and they have these cool little one-way valves to stop blood from flowing backward, especially on the trip up from your legs.
And this is just a fantastic visual comparison. Over on the left, you can see a cross-section of an artery. Just look at those thick muscular walls. They're built to handle that high-pressure blast from the heart. And then on the right, that's a capillary. It's so narrow that red blood cells literally have to squeeze through in single file. It just goes to show you, the structure is perfectly matched to the job it needs to do.
Okay, so we've covered the engine and we've covered the roads, but what about the delivery trucks? What's the actual cargo being transported? Well, it's time to take a closer look at blood itself.
You see, blood isn't just one thing. It's more like a whole team of specialists, a full delivery fleet, all floating in this liquid highway. You've got your red blood cells, they're the oxygen couriers. Then you have the white blood cells, that's your security force. You've got platelets, which are basically the emergency repair crew. And all of them are carried around in plasma, the liquid highway that makes the whole trip possible.
So let's start with the oxygen carriers, the red blood cells. They have this really cool shape called a biconcave disc. Basically, it looks like a donut, but instead of a hole, it's just indented in the middle. And that clever shape gives it more surface area to absorb oxygen. They're pretty much just tiny little bags filled with a special red pigment called hemoglobin. And hemoglobin is what does the magic. It grabs onto oxygen in the lungs and then lets it go when it gets to a cell that needs it.
Next up, we've got the security force, the white blood cells. These are the guardians of the system, and they defend against disease in a couple of really cool ways. Some of them are like little Pac-Man, literally chasing down and gobbling up invading germs. Others are a bit more sophisticated. They produce these things called antibodies to tag and neutralize any threats. They're our essential mobile immune system on patrol.
So what happens if there's a breach in the system, right? You get a cut. Well, that's when the emergency repair crew swings into action. We're talking about platelets. They're not even full cells. They're just these tiny little fragments that swarm to the site of an injury. They all stick together to form a clot, plugging the leak and stopping you from losing too much blood. Pretty clever.
And finally, let's be honest, none of this would even be possible without the liquid highway itself, the plasma. It's this yellowish liquid, and its job is just to carry, well, everything. It's what the red cells, white cells, and platelets all float in. But it also carries all the other cargo, like nutrients, hormones, and all the waste products that need to be removed. It's the river that everything flows in.
Okay, so we have all the pieces of the puzzle now, right? We have the heart, the engine, we have the blood vessels, the roads, and we have the different parts of the blood, the delivery fleet, and its cargo. So let's put it all together and follow one complete journey.
Okay, let's follow just one red blood cell on its trip. It starts on the right side of the heart and gets pumped out through an artery towards the lungs. In the lungs, it drops off its waste carbon dioxide and picks up a fresh load of oxygen. Then it's back to the left side of the heart, where it gets a huge, powerful push out into a major artery. From there, it might travel all the way down to a muscle cell in your big toe. It drops off its oxygen, picks up the waste, and then starts the long trip back to the heart to do it all over again. It's just a perfect, non-stop loop.
And we're not talking about a small operation here. This system pumps around 7,200 liters of blood through your body every single day. It works tirelessly, non-stop, from the moment you're born to your very last breath. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. When you think about everything it delivers, the oxygen for your very next thought, the fuel for your muscles to take a step, what do you think is the most amazing delivery it makes for you?